Again, at this point, we ask everybody to please back up at least 2 feet from the yellow line. Thank you and enjoy your ride.
Saying on the train the other day that helicopter.
The facility contains all the material and mechanics that we use to maintain our antique engines. And today in our shop facility, on our right rather, is engine number 11, came to us in 1999 from the Feather River Railway, built 1923, and it is the power for the Whitaker train today. Ahead of it on the track is engine 5, built in 1905. And in its 100th year in 2005, it was voted by the West Virginia legislation as West Virginia's official steam locomotive. Number 6, unique because of its side rods. It came to us in 1966 from the Meadow River Railroad, and it traveled from Meadow River to here on its own wheels over the Scenic Railway. Also on our left is our deadline, we call it. That's where engines that are awaiting restoration. And our spare parts boxcars are stored. On our right is the John P. Caloran Restoration Shop. That shop was established strictly for the purpose of the restoration of Climax number 9, which came to us in 1970 and was caught in the 1972 engine house fire. The white boiler you see on the flat car is the boiler which we'll use in that restoration, and that is being prepared to be sent out for hydrostatic testing and any repairs that are necessary. We recently received a federal grant for the restoration of that locomotive, and we hope to have it finished within 2 years. Now our engine number 6 is an example of the Shea locomotive, and that Shea was developed by Ephraim Shea, a Michigan logger in the 1880s, and what he wanted was a light, flexible engine with a lot of power to move lumber out of the woods of Michigan. Now on the downhill side of the train, you'll see a creek coming over to meet us, and that is Leatherbark Creek. Leatherbark Creek gave the area its name, Leatherbark Bottom or Leatherbark Bank. Leatherbark Creek provided a natural pathway for railroad builders. As we make our way up the mountain, we're passing through hardwood forests of oak and walnut, beech, birch, maple, mountain ash, and we're also, these lower reaches here, we're passing through a forest of white pine and hemlock. The hardwoods were harvested and processed into paper pulp at the town of Spruce. The bark was removed, sent down to Deer Creek, where again the tannin was removed for shoe leather tanning. The resulting logs after the bark was removed, they were split and made up into train loads of pulpwood, brought down the mountain to cast, where they were assembled into 40-car trains. And in the height of operation, 40-car trains of pulpwood came down from Cape. Okay, conductor Gene's throwing a switch and we're on our way up the hill towards the upper switchback. If you notice, the train engine is now pulling the train and the smoke and cinders coming back over the train. We might recommend keep your head inside, keep the cinders and smoke out of your ear and eyes. And the engine will pull us up the hill this way until we get to our upper switchback, and at that point we'll reverse direction and the engine will again be pushing the train. Downhill side of the train will overlook the Gum Farm, and the Gum family farmed here for many generations. But also take note of the grassy slopes and the treeless areas. This is the way that the property up here looked when all the trees were cut down and the loggers left it and moved on to new timber. Also, you'll see the pioneer trees poking up through the out in the right over the sunshine, and they'll provide shade for some of the more persistent hardwoods. And eventually this whole area will be a hardwood forest similar to what we just passed through. Now, the West Virginia Public Paper Company had a 300-acre farm in Green Bank, and they raised food and beef cattle for the folks who work on the mountain and down in Cass. But they also raised more hay for the horses, and upwards of 200 horses once toiled on these mountains, hauling timber from the peak mountain ridge peaks down to the railroad. Now, as we make this turn, if you look to the left-hand side of the train, up to the top of the peak there, you'll begin to see the red spruce. Above 3,800 feet, the evergreen tree that's up there is the red spruce. You can see them starting to become more numerous.